Okay, so this is going to be part 2. So like we said, God is a God of segmentation and classification, and we said God is a God of light, where he actually segments the light to day, and the dark to nighttime. And he says that this whole thing, this classification is going to be for signs and for seasons, for days and for years. So God had a reason for the light, and he also had a reason for the dark. Okay, but essentially God is light. Okay, God is light. We see here in darkness that the dark was void. The dark was void. Why did God transform the dark into light? Because God is light. Why did God make the earth abundant? Because God is abundant. Okay, he's abundant in himself. Okay, so he shifted from dark and void into abundance and light, because that's who he is. Okay, and he actually made sure that he maintains what is created in abundance and light by instructing Adam to supervise everything, take care of everything. And we're gonna dive really deep into that as well. That brings us to the next point, number 4, that God is actually abundance. Okay, God is full of things inside. Genesis chapter 12. We're gonna actually compare verses. Genesis chapter 1 verse 2 and Genesis chapter 1 verse 20. Okay, Genesis chapter 1 verse 2 says, "And the earth was without form and void, and dark was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters." So the thoughts of God in the creation of heaven and earth brought about earth being without form and void, and darkness being upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the earth. But God's intention was actually to make the earth to be a certain way. So he starts to repair and restore from this point, right, and to create into the world. Okay, so verse 20 here says, "And God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life." Okay, so he said, let the waters bring forth abundantly, shifting from that void and scarcity nature and dark nature into an abundant nature, where the waters were bringing forth waters abundantly, and moving creature that hath life, and moving. It's not stagnant, right? It's moving, and fowls that fly above the earth in the open firmament of the heaven. And we see the word abundant being used. There was no time again in Genesis that, in this creation, that God actually used the word void, almost scarce, in other words like that. Okay. Another thing that I wanted to also say is that, God is also fruitful, and he multiplies. And we see here how, the earth was, from Genesis chapter 1 verse 2, the earth moved from a place of darkness and void, right, a place of scarcity, and he transformed it to a place of fruitfulness and a multiplication, because that's his nature. No matter how dry the land is, God has in his nature, and in his nature to multiply and to make fruitful the dry bones. So I said here that God then, having made man in his likeness and the likeness of his other creation, gave man dominion over them to take care of them. Okay, so after God had created everything, he then created man. I think it's Genesis chapter 1 verse 26, where God says man should take dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. 27, so God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. Okay, so here I feel like he said God created. I feel like if you look at the text, really, God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. So God created him singular, and male and female created he them. No, in the image God created he him, male, and female he them. Okay, I want you to really analyze that, because we need to understand that even God had to remove the ribs of, in Genesis chapter 2 verse 22 says, "And the rib which the Lord God had taken from man made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. So I feel like the plurality is basically talking about the inclusion of the rib to the woman. So it's no longer like one person, it's the woman signifies, you know, the one flesh of the man and the woman. Okay, so that's one thing you should always understand, that the woman really is a plural. It says here, God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he man, male, and female created he them. Okay, so the man and the woman, there's an infusion of the man, you know, a property that was removed from the man into the woman to make her who she is as his helpmate. Okay, and God blessed them, right? And God said unto them, and you know, I feel like this might not even make sense at all, because when you're thinking about it, you're just like, and we'll go even further and you're like, what? I didn't even know that was even there. When we even talk about how God brought all the animals to, let's just get into it, right? Okay, so and God said, behold, God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree, in which is the fruit of the tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. And I feel like a lot of people like ask this question, like, were Adam and Eve actually vegan? I feel like, you know, it's actually true that they were. God specifically said that is giving them the fruit and of the tree yielding seed, herbs, which is vegetable. They were eating fruits and vegetable as meat. And it says to every beast of the, so it's telling that, like, to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given thee. Okay, every green herb. And it said, I have given thee. Okay, and we see here already that God specifies that he's giving them all of these things to take care of, not to consume. Okay, and it says every green herb for meat. All right, I have given thee every green herbs for meat, and it was so. So they fed on vegetables and fruits. And God saw everything, and that he has made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. And thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, which is like the Sabbath, right? God blessed the day and he sanctified it, because